Hello and welcome to the Dad and Sons podcast. I am your accused for this week, Liam Edwards, and joining me, as always, is, of course, Judge Georgie, Mr. George, Super Bunny Hop Weedman.
I'm here in this courtroom. Order! Calm down, kids.
And the executioner, the man with the visuals, Mr. Matt Visual.
The executioner. I was like, I'm definitely not a judge. Yeah, I'll get my hands dirty.
We can give you some gloves for that. Hello, boys.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's pretty good. Pretty good week, actually.
Yeah?
So, how does it feel to get away with murder?
Wow. Funny you say that.
And George rolled over in his grave over there.
Man, just
George
some
died
great
and rolled over in his grave.
Great games came out this week. Great weather this week. No, less crazy news out of Washington than usual this week. What could have gone wrong this week?
Oh man, lots of things went wrong. Okay, the police. All right, never mind. Never mind.
Well, guys, I don't know whether you want to start. Whether you want to start with that, or you want to go into our Superfest Twitter highlights of the week.
Yeah, Twitter.
Let's go to the Twitter sphere first.
So you're teasing them up before talking about this run-in with the law. You're building anticipation.
Don't make it sound like I actually committed a crime. It sounds terribly worse when you say you're running with the law.
Oh, you're just trying to change the subject.
I'm trying to soften the blow for those waiting in anticipation because not really sure legally how much I'm allowed to say.
I wanted to talk about that. You were like, no, we're just going to wing it. We're just going to legally wing it.
We're going to wing it. But first, we're winging it by the seats of my mobile device because we're looking to you guys, the dads, sons, daughters, mothers out there to give us your whatever we call this.
Just that. Just.
So it's my turn for the first time to have a peruse. We had over 100+ questions and responses to this week's sort of just general feedback form. So, George, Matt, are you ready to chow down on some quick bite questions?
I'm fully jerked in.
Matt, you ready?
Yeah, I think my favorite is Gordon Cowell saying, That's a good way to say.
Well, let's start with a beauty from Not a Pigeon.
Okay.
Which do you guys think is the most stupid piece of clothing?
Ascots.
That's a good one.
Ascot?
Just call them a handkerchief.
Matt?
White beaters is the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
When people wear them outside, and it's like,
okay,
it's not a tank top, it's like a white beater. I'm not talking about the tank top white beaters, I'm talking about the white beaters.
With stains on it as well. Stains.
Yes, the grease stains. From Five Guys.
I hate that so much that for the longest time, I would refuse to wear them. Even though, like, living in Georgia in the summer, it's a necessity that you wear a wife beater. But I don't want to wear something called a wife beater, so now they're undershirts.
And just don't wear white ones.
White beater.
Wear, like, black ones or something. Just ones that don't... If you wear a black one, you automatically look sporty. Whereas you wear a white one, you look like you've beaten somebody up.
They also blend in better with the kind of dark, olive, drab, earthy tones I like to envelop my body in.
Yeah. You mean that one red checkered hoodie?
Sometimes there's a brown checkered one.
Guys, I think I've got one that beats it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Socks with toe pockets, you know?
Whoa.
Those socks that people wear that actually have, like, individual toe.
Like the mittens?
Yeah, like
mittens that have the fingers?
Yeah.
Tucked
So what happens if you put them in the cold wash and just the toe part comes out too small to fit in, but the rest of it is still elastic enough to get the rest of your foot in? Like, do you just wear a regular sock at that point with an extra toe pocket dangling out?
I do not know. But for some reason they're becoming super popular here in Japan and I hate them.
Wow.
I'm sorry that's the big problem you had to deal with in Japan this week.
All right. Let's move on, because we need to get a bit faster. We had over 100. We have to at least get past 4 of them.
Holy shit!
50.
We have to. That's a 4%. reproduction rate.
No, you gotta blaze it off. Blaze it off like I did. Blaze it off.
Let's blaze it off. Okay. J Square Gark Dajime.
See, those names are ridiculous, right?
Let's hear those David Hayter impressions.
I'm sitting here eating cereal, but it's really crunchy and made out of sand.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
All I know is how to say Merle.
Merle.
That's all. The only thing I know.
It's a complex battle of proxy machines. Just war.
It's the future, and it's kind of lame.
If you can get away with just saying one word like Merrill, war.
Wait, no, you got to make it into a question mark.
Merle.
War.
Colonel.
Podcasts.
Otacon. Dads.
Watch Dad and Sons. No, that's
We just
that's
need
a
to
different
get
voice.
someone put. Have we paid to get George a cameo message from David Hayter yet? But I'm reckoning we should crowdsource some funds together to get David Hayter to record an intro that we use for every episode of the show, so we never have to do it.
Oh my god.
I mean, how much does it cost these days anyway? He got replaced.
We should take bets on how much do you think it would cost?
I want to say 2K. Like a solid 2K for 30 seconds of non-union freelance work.
2K. That's
Really?
a lot. For
Well,
30
yeah, but they're
seconds?
like Hollywood types. Like
He's David Hayter. He's not,
well,
Whoa, come on now. Give him
I
some
have
credit.
a little bit of experience working with
Oh my god!
yeah.
I found out. You're not gonna believe this.
How much?
Yeah.
How much?
We can get David Hayter
A fiver.
to send us a message
Yeah.
or record an intro of the show for $65.
No way, dude.
George, do we have the funds?
I'm just trying to say, you guys would be surprised at the rates for voice acting from big Hollywood types.
He's changing the subject.
Yeah, $2,000 down to $65. We got you, sucker.
If it's really 65, yeah.
Anyway, maybe next week we'll find out.
Yeah, next one. We gotta go at least through 100. Come on, let's go.
Let's move on. Stephen D asks, what was the tastiest food you ate this week?
Oh my fucking god. It's creme brulee. I made creme brulees this week.
Creme brulee.
Just like that one guy sent an email asking what's your favorite dish to make, and I said creme brulee. That got me in the mood to make creme brulee. Holy shit, now I'm being asked on the same podcast what my favorite dish was, and it's creme brulee!
Matt, what was the tastiest thing you had this week?
It was my birthday this weekend, so I cooked
Yes, it
myself.
was.
Happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday, boy!
Thanks. I wanted to splurge a little bit and cook me 2 pans of macaroni and cheese, the southern type.
Wait. Are you talking about
It's vegan macaroni and cheese, but I know how to make it good.
like from a box with additions, or are we like fancy baking mac and cheese?
No, I'm from scratch.
Okay,
except for the
good.
pasta.
So it's not mac and powder.
No.
Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure that you're still like allowed to
No,
live.
I'm baking it and everything. I'm making the macaroni, shredding the cheese.
You guys are industrious. I can't cook shit, so the best thing I ate was at a restaurant.
Oh yes, and I bet it was way better than anything we ate.
I don't know. Maybe. To be fair, the place we went out for dinner, like a game dev dinner the other day, and I will admit, we had this spare rib that was literally to die for. It was pretty fucking amazing. Anyway, moving on. Noah at Geek Felix asks, George, Solid Snake or Sam Fisher?
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake, man. Solid Snake.
Matt, Switch, PS4 or PC?
Oh shit.
Oh no, it's a console war.
It's not going to be PS4. It's going to be either Switch or PC. Like, can I live without Switch games? Because I love PC. I'm probably going to pick PC, but can I live without it? You know,
I don't know,
like
man. That's why he's asking you.
that's pretty rough. That's pretty rough, dude. I'm going to have to say PC because you could eventually do emulators. Am I cheating?
And for some reason, he has asked me, Liam, 2B, Terminator, or RoboCop? Terminator wins every time.
Yeah, he keeps coming back, doesn't he?
Are we talking about in a fight? Or like how fun their respective franchises are?
I have no idea. He just says versus.
Oh, because if it has to do with fun, RoboCop wins. That's hands down. I'm sorry.
Although now I'm picturing how crazy a platinum Terminator beat 'em up game would look like. Where you're just mashing the shit out of people as Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 90s.
Just Terminator and 2B going around killing people.
Just like mash the button harder to have him squeeze his biceps on some heavy thing he's trying to lift. It could work.
It could. Good Guy Dan asks, since George has been to Japan a few times and Liam lives there, Matt has also been here. Guys, have any of you visited the Gundam in Odaiba?
No.
Yes.
Is it the same guy who has the picture of it?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to. Where is it? It was near us.
It's in Odaiba. It's a man-made island in Tokyo, and I have not visited the Unicorn, but I visited the OG RX 180 or whatever the original Gundam is called.
Didn't it get taken down?
And then he got torn down and sold to China or some shit.
That sucks. That really does suck.
Gonzo asks, who's your favorite dad in a video game, and who's your favorite son?
Oh God. I want to say that my favorite dads and sons in a video game are the dad-son household that I made in The Sims 4 2 weeks ago.
By default, we win. I'm going to say favorite son is Alucard. Alucard's pretty bitchin'. Not sure about dad, though. Maybe John Marston? John Marston's a pretty cool dad.
Barrett Wallace, of course. Mr. T, embodied stereotypical black man.
Yeah, fuck, you're right.
It could be Ellie Vince too. The guy the guy no one remembers from Half-Life, the father.
Robinson B. Caruso asks, talk about Final Fantasy 13, please.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, 12
One
is
sentence. One sentence.
I know
sentence.
what my one sentence is going to be.
One sentence is as linear and as long as Final Fantasy 13.
Wait. Talk about what? Final Fantasy 13?
Yeah. Give us one sentence on Final Fantasy 13, Matt.
Wait. Why did it skip to me? I've got to look. This is the one that it was the weird one that came after? Oh no, not lightning. Oh no.
Yeah, 13 is
okay.
lightning, man.
The thing that instantly shot in my head, the one sentence that my brain associates FF13 with is,
this has been like 6 already.
which one is that one? Is that the MMO one? And
Hey.
Okay.
I'm downloading Final Fantasy 14 to get back into it as we speak.
I'm actually gonna do the mod for 9 and play through 9. I'm thinking about doing that. There's an HD mod that uses AI to like heighten the graphics to HD.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks
Nice.
rad as shit.
And it looks good. It
Yeah.
looks good.
So he asked us to talk about 13.
Oh,
and we
okay.
And wait, no.
right.
The moral of this is that we ended up talking about other Final Fantasies.
yeah.
Moving on. Our
Like,
good
it's hard
friend
to
Scribble.
count.
No. I returned Final Fantasy 13
It's a big number.
after I saw the black guy to blast. That is the sentence, right? A broken sentence.
The one with the baby
No,
chocolate.
the tutorial was like 5 hours long. So,
Yeah. Our good friend Scrib asks,
Script.
if you were on a boat, who would be your first mate?
If I was on a boat?
Yeah, you could like hear our eyes nervously darting at each other as we try to think up of the next best
Like,
thing.
who's gonna say the other guy?
Right? That puts
fourth
pressure
dad or
on
son.
us. You know what? Maybe we need like a snarky animal sidekick, like a snarf or a scrappy doo.
I know how we can solve this. I know how we can solve it, guys.
Yeah.
Scrib can be the first mate.
Scrib's the first
Scrib's
mate.
first mate.
This was his plan all along, man. Come on.
I think so.
Had to have been.
Yeah.
I think so. Moving on. Chili Roy Ryu. Where do you all draw the line between games, toys, and software?
Well, like Skylanders and stuff?
Yeah, or just in general, I guess. Like, because video games used to get put in the toy section because they're for babies.
Yeah, the line is blurry on that one, but video games, I guess, can be more serious than toys.
Video games are visual, interactive entertainment. Toys are physical
Yeah.
interactive entertainment that is usually aimed at children, and then software is stuff like Excel. In my eyes,
I agree.
But then how do you differentiate board games from toys? There's still a tactile, physical feel to it.
Oh, board
That's
games
true.
are definitely more complicated than toys.
Yeah, maybe they are just the more complicated form of toys.
You don't,
I don't know,
need
I don't
a manual to to play, like, I don't know, the G.I. Joe. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
I bet it does come with a manual, though.
Also, I'm sure there's some weird kids out there who, like, don't speak a lot in class, who probably thought up elaborate rules and regulations for their G.I. Joe action slacked and adventure times.
Are you talking about your own childhood, George?
I don't know.
Dr. Swoos asks, which Winnie the Pooh character would you be?
What kind of question is that?
I would probably be the rabbit, just because I just find
you
myself being a rabbit.
Wait, what is the rabbit's name called? I remember all of them but the rabbit. The really grumpy one, right?
Yeah, sounds about right. Like, yo, don't touch my garden.
I think he was just named Rabbit.
Yeah, I think it was rabbit. I
Yeah,
think
there
it
was
just rabbit.
Piglet,
Rabbit?
Tigger, and Rabbit.
Was he really called Rabbit? Wow.
I think he was just called Rabbit.
Yeah,
Fucking Christopher Robin, fucking genius over there. George,
Yeah, good job.
you flip between being Eeyore and Pooh on a daily basis.
I'm never Tigger, though.
Nah, you're too pessimistic to be Tigger.
See, in my mind, I feel like I'm Tigger, though, because I just kind of, like, aimlessly bounce from conversation to conversation, saying
I think a lot of
something
people are
really...
thinking you're is a lot
Yeah.
reminiscent of Tigger.
Yeah, like, in my head, I'm Tigger, but maybe outside from other people's perspectives, I'm Eeyore. That's a little sobering.
What am I then?
I find it hard to imagine your personality translating over to any of them. They're all just so, like,
One note.
Adderall. Yeah, everyone's kind of monotone and
A perfect
I don't know. I don't know, Liam. I don't know if you fit.
I have a
I don't
hard
fit in
time
this-
picturing your voice on any
in
of those
this-
animals.
Maybe you're Piglet.
I can't picture
You're
that.
extremely nice. You're a
Piglet's
nice.
too innocent, though. Piglet's like a little kid type character, like a Tails of the gang, right? Piglet
Tails?
is still learning things.
oh my god, am I the Tails mascot of this show?
No, because you wouldn't fit. There's no way you'd be Tails.
This sucks. This sucks.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be
I can hear Matt
Tails.
squealing in the background with agreement.
Oh my god. Okay, for one, Tails doesn't live a slick, dangerous lifestyle that has them running in and out of trouble with the cops.
Hey.
There's nothing wrong with being a piglet.
Hey, Tails and Sonic are always in trouble with Eggman.
Well, Eggman's not the
Excuse
cops.
me,
Eggman's
Sonic movie canon lore shows that Dr. Robotnik is on the side of the U.S. Army. You can't get more righteous than that.
Also, I'm having flashbacks to like police robots on the spinny highway levels of the Sonic Adventure games, and yeah, I totally think I remember Tails just destroying tens of cop cars, and on further memory.
Oh, further. God, I don't even know what to transition this into another question. Matt, did you have another question?
Yeah, Jerome. Bag milk versus carton or jug milk? Bag milk? Is that a thing?
That's what they do in Canada. In Canada, they do bag milk.
They do it in Japan as well for some reason, but not often.
I'm guessing the reason is the environment.
Why? It's a plastic bag, right? That's got to be worse.
Oh, no. That doesn't look right. Why is it green?
Don't know.
Because I'm sure it's better somehow for the environment.
But it's plastic. Plastic can't be good for the environment.
But it's green, so that way it's good for the environment.
2 more questions, and then we'll transition out of this. Thank you to everybody who's sent in shit. Connor, at OtterSpeakingN, asks, what is a game that you will never play again?
X Rebirth.
X Rebirth.
Actually,
Wow.
no. I'm gonna take that back because
Is that the really, really bad space sim that came out and everybody hated?
yes. However, it supposedly has been updated over the year and a half since then. So I take that back. Postal 3, I think, is still my least favorite game I have vivid memories of because I had to play it for like 30 hours.
Matt, how about yourself?
There's multiple games I probably won't play again. I don't often play games again anymore because of time. I probably won't play like Sekiro again, games like that, like where I'm just like, it's just too much energy. It's too much energy, and it's not really, for me, it's not fun enough to be like, yeah. Like, I could play Hollow Knight again, right? I played that game twice, and it's challenging, but it's also a fun game to play. Like, there's a rewarding feeling from it. I just don't get that from, like, games like Sekiro, where it's just kind of hard, because it's just hard.
But the rewarding feeling is...
Again, that's just me. It has nothing to do with the game. The game is great. It's just I don't feel like going through that again. I'm done. I'm done after that.
Yeah, but Liam got some value out of these replays. The New Game Plus mode, I'm guessing, is changing things up enough to keep things interested.
I'm trying to think of a game I just wouldn't play again, like out of choice, would never play again. Like I was thinking I probably would never play Ocarina of Time again because I've played Ocarina of Time so... Man, no, I'm just thinking generally, like...
It gets older every year, though.
I'm trying to think of a game that truly has... Oh, I will never play Heavy Rain again. Ever. You could never pay me to play that game again.
I agree with that.
It's also, like, linear and cinematic. It's going to be a lot of the same for your second playthroughs.
True.
You could look up the alternate paths on YouTube quicker than...
I'll play Detroit again, though.
Detroit has replay to it?
Like, I guess playing it with a friend, that also kind of goes into it. Like,
oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so I would probably play Sekiro again with a friend. Heavy Rain.
I played Heavy Rain with friends first time round. Never played
Detroit, I would.
And the final question we have, boys, from Sir Rick the Nick. If you suddenly found yourself in a room with you of 10 years ago, so that would be me at 28.
Oh, God.
Matt at the shining crown of 20 now. Happy birthday, Matt, my love. And George, that would be 91 years old.
I was so immature and young.
What would you tell them? And this kind of works for all of the younger listeners out there who are looking for advice.
When I was young, I knew nothing of the world. I knew nothing of how it works.
So what would you tell yourself then?
Dude, there's so much.
Like,
there's so much. I would
just the thing that immediately comes to your head. That immediately comes to head. If you were flashing in, flashing out, like, don't eat the lasagna from Wednesday, like that kind of thing.
I don't know, like the first phrase that comes to mind is like, "Don't stop."
Just keep going. Wait, is it don't stop making Guild War 2 videos and then you flash out?
No.
I was in college. This was before the channel, so it's a totally different George that I'd be talking to.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This would have been me hustling, wanting to write video game reviews for places like GameSpot and stuff. I would have like flashed in and been like, "Don't worry, you get drunk with Al Numa, the guy who made Ocarina of Time. Chill, motherfucker," and peace out, and then just like dive out.
I need an essay, dude. I need an essay to get myself back up to speed, man.
What has happened? Well, we started this podcast.
Man, I'm just thinking back.
One of them is an internationally wanted criminal. The other is a YouTube person, and in 2019, you realize that has derogatory value.
I know, it's real bad for my self-esteem. I think God, ever since the Logan Paul shit, I just like can't settle the fact that I do this. And anyways, that's me right now. Me 10 years ago was a weird kid who like didn't really know what to do with regards to fashion or hair, and I can't help but fuck off. I can't help but notice that there were a few good years from like 2011 to 2016 where I had figured out how to finally tackle the mop and just noticed that people were nicer to me by default. When you dress nice, get a nice haircut and get all clean cut and shaven, everyone's kind of nicer to you by default without really consciously trying, and that makes life a little easier. So that's what I would want to tell myself from 10 years ago.
Good advice. There you go. To everybody who's young and worried, don't worry. We all fuck it up and you eventually You start a podcast and everything turns out all right.
Always grow, young ones. Always grow.
Always
Never think
grow.
that you made it.
And
Always
keep realizing that
grow.
every dumb thing you're posting on social media right now will bite you in the ass.
God, I feel so bad for the
bite you
kids.
in the ass.
Self-reflect on a daily basis.
Yes. Speaking of, thank you to everybody who reached out to us via Twitter and said dumb shit to us that everybody will now remember forever. So let's continue the show. Hello, boys.
Oh man, we should do a whole show on this. There's a lot here, dude.
Out
There
of
is
100, how many do you think we got?
We gotta go back and talk about some of this stuff, man. Some of this stuff is good.
There were some
Maybe-
good suggestions.
How about we do a segment at the end? Because we're still trying to figure out between us like what is going to cap off the Twitter episodes. Because obviously we have our long form questions at the end of our other two-weekly schedule thing. So how about for this week? Maybe we do a little treat of some more Twitter stuff at the end.
Yeah, let's do it.
So guys, who amongst us would ever have thought that recording a podcast might have actually worked as an alibi to not place you near the scene of a crime?
If anything, I thought it would be the exact opposite.
You thought podcasting would get you to kill somebody.
Or I don't know, like download a movie.
You know, they're cracking down deep on that, man. Use your VPNs, kids.
Or just be lazy like me and just buy everything.
So Liam, you didn't use your VPN for a week, and you downloaded Metallica's Saint Anger, and the cops showed up.
Downloaded Murder 101.
Your first thought was music, George? I thought you don't listen to anything creative.
Yeah, but it's like, I think it's just the year I was born. When I think of the authorities cracking down on internet downloading, my brain goes to like turn of the millennium Napster.
No Limp Bizkit, no nothing. Okay.
No, because they didn't sue with the RIAA for the fans who were anyways.
Okay.
Liam, you have a story that you seem reluctant to tell.
Well, okay. So, hello, everybody.
Oh, let me get settled. Okay. Yeah.
I had an interesting weekend. A super interesting weekend.
Add some good music to this. Yeah.
I'm picturing the Unsolved Mysteries theme.
So I'm not really sure how to start this, really. I guess we started right at last Friday.
Doom doom.
So Friday I go to work, and about lunchtime I get an email on my phone from the landlords of the building with which I live in.
Landlords.
In Kyoto. This building actually houses a lot of foreigners, I found out, surprisingly.
Wait, that makes it a little fishier.
Well, just shut up first.
Yeah, go on.
So, get this email. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm telling this to, like, 10,000 people. And it's basically regarding... It's written all in English, so you know who they're trying to target with this email. Not the Japanese people who live in this building, but the English-speaking residents. About a noise complaint had been registered in the building. So I'm thinking, shit, I do have a loud voice. And I do record a very stupid show once a week where I laugh a lot and scream a lot. So maybe that's to do with me. It is suspiciously after we've recorded the show. And I'm like, oh shit, maybe it's me. But I'll ignore it for now. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Skip forward to the evening. A buddy of mine comes down from Shizuoka near Tokyo to hang with me for the weekend. We're going to play some Cadence of Hyrule co-op together, which we will get onto. Don't you worry. So we're going to play some Cadence. It's going to be really cool. But first we go out. We go to the 17-bit office here in Kyoto. The guys who made Galaxy. Super cool friends of ours. Have a few drinks there. The night gets a little wild. Go out until 4 a.m. on Saturday morning. Great time. But wake up Saturday disgustingly hungover. Probably the worst hangover I've had in about 6 months. Terrible. Terrible, terrible hangover. So I'm sleeping in all through the morning.
About 6 months.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm dying. I'm truly dying. I have a terrible headache.
Oh my.
And
How convenient. Lee.
I know, right? Just perfect timing for what was about to happen, which is my doorbell ring. So my doorbell rings, and I'm like, ugh, what? So I get out of bed, I'm like, oh, fucking Jesus Christ. Ugh. And I, because it's like an intercom thing, I press it, and I can't really see the screen. I haven't got my glasses on, and I'm like, sumimasen, dare desu ka? Who is this? And they're like, Keisatsu, the police.
Wow.
And I'm like,
I can imagine that sounding like kind of stern and terrifying. Like
I'm
the way-
like,
yeah.
Uh-oh. My mind is immediately like, noise complaint. Like, it went straight to noise complaint. Like, I was like, that email yesterday, this is happening right now. Oh, fuck. I'm so hungover. And so my buddy is sleeping on the floor. So I'm like, Alan, get the fuck up. The police are here. He's like, what? I'm like, the police are here. I don't know what's happening. And he's like, ugh, hungover as well. So we both get up. Anyway, get dressed.
You're forgetting that you both were half naked.
Well, yeah, so we were in pajamas, you know? Like,
You were half naked. That's what the story
yeah, okay, Matt.
said. Yeah. Okay. All right. I just got to tell the audience what I heard.
All right. Yeah, sleeping in, the old boxer shorts, like the boys do.
Ah, nothing else, huh?
Some socks. Not freaking savages.
Some George socks.
Paint me like one of your French dads.
So I answer the door, and there are 2 police officers at my door. And I'm like, hi. By the way, this all is in Japanese. All happened in Japanese. Between me and Alan, we butchered our way through what the most insane 3 hours that just happened. So the police are like, immediately, they're like, are you Liam? Yes. Do you live here? Sanmaru-raku, 306. Yes.
They're speaking in English?
No, all in Japanese. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, okay, so we had a noise complaint from this building, and the noise complaint quoted your apartment specifically. They quoted your apartment, 306. And they said it sounded like a man and a woman fighting. And it sounded like glass had been smashed.
And that's where, like, the story just does not match at all.
Well, exactly, right? Of course,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the
How
fuck?
the hell did they hear glass?
Yeah, well, so this is the thing, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? What? No.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, immediately, they're like, Thursday, 1 a.m. What were you doing? And at the time, I was blanking because I was like, Thursday, 1 a.m.? I remember last week I was sick on Thursday from work. So I took the day off work because I was sick, and I was thinking Thursday, and I was thinking maybe I was watching like E3 stuff or something late at night or something, and I was completely blanking at that time. And they were like, "Oh, okay. Did you have a woman?" And it changed, and they were like, "Did you have a woman here?" And I was like,
And yeah, me and Matt both can tell you, and 10,000 audience members can reassure the police that there were no women in Liam's apartment that night.
Right, yeah. So at that time, I blanked on what I was doing because they're saying Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, "Did you have a woman here?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yes." And they're like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" I'm like, "Yes." "How old is she?" And then they just asked me so many questions, like, where does she live? What does she do? And I'm like, she's this. And they're like, was she here on Thursday or at all this week? And I'm like, no, she lives in Hyogo. I haven't seen her for like 3 weeks. And they're like, why are you in a relationship with somebody who is 2 hours away from you? I'm like, I don't know. I used to be closer, but then I moved to Kyoto. And they're like, just asking me so many questions about my girlfriend and about a woman being in my apartment. So this goes on for about half an hour.
And grilling the relationship, apparently. God damn, Cobb. Get off your back.
Super. I mean, they got worse. But
Ugh.
it's at this point where they ask, can we come in to your apartment? And I'm like, my apartment's tiny, and it's had 2 dudes who just got incredibly drunk last night. It's a mess. But I'm like, sure, okay. So they just march on in, come in, and then they start searching everywhere for broken glass.
Even in the bathroom?
Even in the bathroom, my bins, under my bed. They are checking my, like, balcony doors for, like, cracks and, like, pushing them to see if they've, like, been replaced or, like, broken or they're movable in any way. checking everywhere for like glass. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, they obviously don't find any broken glass. Thankfully, I haven't broken a cup or anything in recent times, so that would have sucked if I had. But there was nothing. And they're like, daijoubu. And once again, they asked me, what were you doing at Thursday at 1 a.m.? And at this point, I'm like, oh, I knew exactly what I was fucking doing. But for me, it's Wednesday when I start. It's the podcast. I was recording last week's episode, the E3 Spectacular.
You have like 2 hours of more than 2 hours of alibi on
Exactly.
file on your computer.
Because they said Thursday at 1 a.m., my brain is like not putting it together because when we start, it's Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday for you two right now. Technically, It is almost exactly Thursday 1 a.m. now for me, but I don't think of it as like that. I think I podcast every Wednesday night. But I'm like, I know exactly what I was doing. I was fucking podcasting. And these two police officers are like, what the fuck is podcasting? Nani desu ka? I'm like, what is podcasting? I'm like, oh my god, this is embarrassing. So I'm like, well, it's like internet radio and I talk about games. And they're like, naruhodo, otaku desu ka? Like, are you an otaku? I'm like, well, a little maybe. And they're like,
the police?
And then they're asking me loads of questions like, do you make money? And all this kind of thing. Are you popular?
Oh my god.
And I'm like holding my microphone at them and they're like, you use this? And I'm like, yeah, this. And they're like, can you show us the show? And I'm showing them the show on my phone and they're like, that's your voice. And I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. Yes, I told you.
Do they have podcast? Is the podcast popular in Japan?
Yeah, but these were old dudes. These are old. These are Oji-san policemen.
And they called you an otaku.
They were like, naruhodo, yeah. I'm like, we've got you, you weird little fuck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So these two seem pretty content. They're like, this guy didn't do anything. It was a mistake. It's fine. So these two police officers are like, sumimasen, daijoubu, like, kyotsukete, be careful next time kind of thing, right? We're leaving. And then they leave, and me and Alan, my buddy, are like, so hungover. And we just had the weirdest Saturday morning. 20 minutes go by. Just imagine the SpongeBob narrator, like 20 minutes later.
Lay it there.
Well, there's a knock at the door again, fellas.
In the middle of you taking a dump or something like that, right?
No, so we were literally just about to go out and get something to eat because I desperately needed coffee to wake me the fuck up from what was happening. And they knock at the door, and this time there is the two policemen from before, and they are with 10 police officers. 10. Fucking 10 police officers.
You're basically a ragdoll at that point.
Two of them of which had hats with written in English, Special Investigations Unit.
Like some anime.
Oh my god. I can't imagine the feeling of your stomach in that moment.
Well, the guy is like, the Oji-san, the old guy policeman is like, sumimasen, Liam-san, もう一回質問お願いします. Like, can we ask you some more questions, please? These guys wanna ask you some questions. And immediately, this new police officer, this special investigations detective dude, is like, not here to be friendly. He's the bad cop in this situation. He's the rudest motherfucker like I've met in Japan, and he's straight into it. He's like, did you have a prostitute in your apartment? Did you have a woman in your apartment? Was your girlfriend here? Where does your girlfriend live? And he gets back on like the woman hype train, like he's nailed me. He's like, you had a woman here, motherfucker. We're gonna find out. I'm like, no. And he just like grills me again on like Ran, like straight on my girlfriend's like, how long have you been together? Are you getting married? Is your relationship bad? Why don't you see each other? What is this? Like, blah, 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 blah. And he just goes on. And it's so much that I'm like, look, dude, do you want me to call her? And he's like, Nihonji desu ka? Is she Japanese? I'm like, yeah, I told you. And he's like, yes. Like, call her immediately. I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. So I call her. Thankfully, she picked up, which she never does. And I was like, yo, the police are here.
Yo.
Can you talk to them? And she's like,
really need a favor right now, girl.
What the hell's happening? I'm like, you know as much as I do right now. And I pass it, and she's like, okay. So I pass it to him, And he just snatches it out of my hand, and he like fucks off out of the apartment, down the stairs, so I can't hear what he's talking about. And the other two police officers are like, mate, like, wait here. And I'm like, shit, okay. So I'm like here with Alan at the door, and this police officer is trying to talk to us about just like, where'd you come from? Like typical Japanese old man talk, like same old shit. Where'd you come from? Manchester, soccer da ski desu ka? Like, you like soccer, don't you? And it's like, yeah, sure. So anyway, the guy comes back. Yeah, right?
What?
Yeah, just like bullshit talk to distract us while this guy's chatting to my girlfriend on the phone, right? And then the bad cop comes back with my phone, and like he hands me the phone, and he's like, "When is your girlfriend's birthday?" And I'm like,
"Oh no,
March."
Put the phone on mute, man.
Yeah. He's like, "March." I'm like, "March something or other." Like I forgot specifically what day it was, and he hands me the phone again, and then I hear it, and like Ran is like screaming. Ran's like, "Liam, they're not real. That guy's the rudest policeman I've ever spoke to. There's no way he's real." I'm like, "Yes, they are. There's 10 of them right here, right in front of me, with uniforms and guns and batons. They're real." She's like, "Something really strange is happening. I'm going to call the Kyoto HQ police department." I'm like, I need you right now. You know, your Japanese is better than mine. She's like, "I'm going to find out what's happening." And she hangs up on me. And I'm like, oh, great. My alibi for not beating women has just hung up on me. Fantastic. So she hangs up. And then the guy is straight back on, like, "Okay, so if you didn't have a woman here, what were you doing at Thursday at 1 a.m.? And I'm like,
making the podcast.
I was making a podcast.
We just went through this.
And he's like, how can you prove it? And I'm like, I have a Skype call log on my computer, and we shit on Skype all the time. We three have a disdain for Skype. But in the past week, I found a very new love for Skype. I feel like I owe Microsoft one because I boot on my computer. I'm like, there, look, we started at whatever time it was. I can't remember what time it was. Like, we started at freaking 3 minutes past 12, and we ended at 2:23 a.m., and we were on the call for 2 hours and 18 minutes with two of my friends. I wasn't doing anything, motherfucker. I wasn't doing anything.
I need the details here. Like, did you have your laptop off and you had to slowly boot it up? And it was yes. Yes.
Oh my God. And it was the long, and he's standing there, like arms folded, like, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, boot up.
It dies.
How long into the whole exchange are we at this point? How many hours have passed since the first one?
This is like 2 hours and a half, maybe.
Fucking yikes.
Like, it's so slow. Japanese police are writing everything on paper. They're asking details and writing it down. And then we got to do Japanese to English and English to Japanese. And it's like, and like, that. And they were asking me questions about everything. Like, you know, have you had trouble with the police before? Why have you lived in like 3 different places in Japan? Why do you move around so much? I'm like, fucking hell, man. They're like, what job do you have?
Hiding the bodies.
Exactly, right? They're like, you have a strange pattern, murderer. So I'm like, look, the Skype is fine. And he's like, he looks at it, he checks, and he like takes over my mouse and he's scrolling. And I'm like, daijoubu? And he's like, he just says to everybody in the room, "Owari desu. We're finished. We're finished here." And he just storms out of the room, like out of the apartment, down the stairs. And all of the other police officers follow him, apart from the 2 who originally came. The first 2, the good cop. And then, so what happens is they all leave, and then the good cop starts to tell us what the fuck has been happening, which is that there was a murder in Kyoto. By the way, Japan is super fucking safe, don't worry about it. There was supposedly a murder in Kyoto around my area on Thursday at around 1 a.m. And that one of the only disturbance calls they got was the noise complaint about my apartment.
But how the hell did they get the glass shattering from that? Like, that doesn't sound at
So
all
this
like
is the
what
thing,
we
right?
do.
So this is the thing. That might have happened outside of the building. Obviously, I record the podcast with headphones in, listening to you two Muppets talk all the time, right?
Yeah, it could have been some piece of street equipment falling over.
Well, it could have also been the murder. I mean, I didn't hear anything.
Or yeah, just like straight up
could have been
the
actual.
actual.
Thing, right? But
you think you live within earshot of the murder?
Well, it's Japan, man.
Holy or is it just that quiet?
I wouldn't even. Yeah, it is super quiet. That's the thing. That's why me talking quite loudly at 1 a.m. is an anomaly in the building. So whoever was creeping around thinking they're hearing sounds probably stalked out of their apartment, heard me like laughing and screaming about how like Link's Awakening is going to be fucking baller, and is like, that guy's a criminal. That guy's a fucking criminal.
Man, they don't play when it comes down to murder, do they?
So yeah, this guy's like, there was a murder, and we came here thinking that maybe you had murdered somebody and also attacked your girlfriend. I'm like, fucking what? Like, this went like 100% flipped on its head. At this point, I'm like, oh my god, you nearly arrested me from like potential murder. Like, yeah, so we'd been gathering some information, but obviously there is no outstanding reports on you. You have a clean record, all this kind of thing. So we didn't know what to expect. So we originally came with a smaller amount of officers, and then the Special Investigations Unit wanted to find out more information. So we came with more officers. And I'm like,
yeah, okay.
Are you fucking for real?
Did they all take off their shoes before coming in?
Yes, they did.
You know how many shoes are outside of your door? Oh,
a lot. And then
that's good.
My girlfriend calls me back, and the lady friend calls me, and he's like, Liam, they think you murdered somebody. I'm like, yeah, no shit. And then she's like, they think maybe you murdered me as well. Ha 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 ha. I'm like, it's not fucking funny. It's really
Thanks
not
for
funny.
leaving me, woman.
Yeah, thanks for not helping.
It's over.
I'm like half very relieved, so I'm laughing, but also seething with anger that she'd not helped me. Like, you fucking dumbass.
Oh, she's gonna hear this and it's done. It's done.
Good.
It's over.
You screwed up.
That's the anger
But
talking,
yeah,
Liam.
So after this point, the sober had almost been completely punched into me because it was the craziest 2.5 hours of my life.
Jesus Christ.
And then me and Alan, we go out, I get my coffee, finally get some food, come back and we start playing some Smash to chill the heck out. And you
start smashing? Half naked again?
You never miss a trick. You never miss a trick, do you, Matt?
Liam's just so not amused.
So, the bad cop comes back an hour later.
Oh my god, guys.
And I'm like, oh no.
Round 3, baby.
No. But it's him on his own. So I'm like, maybe
Did he want
he's
to
been forced to
sincerely
apologize.
Apologize!
Because I think my girlfriend and her mother had made a complaint about him to the Kyoto HQ department because he was so rude. He just spoke in, Japanese has keigo and like all the different honorifics, right? And
right.
So he spoke in like he was talking to a dog when he was talking to me.
Wow.
He was talking to me like I had murdered somebody. Like I was the scum of the earth. That's how he was talking to me in Japanese.
Wow.
And that's how he was talking to like my girlfriend and stuff because he thought maybe she was a part of this whole thing and everything. So he was talking disgusting basically. And he comes back and he's like very begrudgingly like, sumimasen, ima daijoubu, owari desu. Like, ijo. We're finished. We're done. You are okay. It's done. And I'm like, I hold out my hand to shake his hand and I like shake his hand going like, arigato, kawaii, so scary. And he's not amused. I'm like trying to make a joke with him, like break the ice with the bad cop. And he just like puts his hat back on and fucks off.
He's probably like one of those hardcore guys, man. He doesn't like people murdering in his space.
It's probably because it's the only murder that's ever happened since he was a police officer.
I can't believe that good cop, bad cop routines are actually a real life thing.
It may not be that.
I don't think it was. I think he just was an asshole.
Yeah.
He wasn't specifically being a bad cop. He was just being a dick because he was a dick.
He's probably upset. Like
Thankfully, he doesn't speak English, so if he listens to this episode, he will have no idea I called him that.
If he listens to this episode, man, that's dedication right there, man. That's
Well, it should also help the investigation because the last episode is exactly what Liam was doing during the questionable times.
Seriously, if I'm going down for murder, you two and all of the 10,000 people who listened to last week's episode, you're all going down with me.
That's okay. I'll go down with you, Liam.
This is also like a
naked.
kind of like frustrating reminder of just how xenophobic Japan can be a lot of the times.
Well, you say that, but then I saw the video of the Phoenix Police Department thing the other day.
Oh, God.
And I watched that.
Saying that we're any better.
No, but I watched that, and I was like, man, my Saturday was crazy and rough, but it is so much worse in other places.
Did they take out their guns and point them to your face?
Screaming in my face and
at your girlfriend's
put a cap
face?
in my head? No,
No,
they
you have
didn't.
2 kids running around and them telling them to calm down. Did you have civilians even telling the cops to like chill because the cops were being too rowdy? Did they tell you that they're gonna bust a cap in your ass? Did a cop tell you that shit? Because they're fucking hood, fucking thugs.
Yeah.
Oh my freaking gosh! What is wrong with people? Why do they give these types of people guns? Oh my god!
I hate to be this real, but the only time in my life I've ever really had to deal with asshole cops was in Japan. Like yeah, as a middle class white guy, I think I can clarify and verify that I probably have had a different experience than others, and it's in Japan where it feels like you get a little taste of what that's like as a white guy.
I'm not going to say it's comparable in any way, but you definitely feel like one wrong move and you're fucked.
Yeah, which they can do, right? Like how many rights do you actually have as an expat over there who's not an official citizen?
I do know 2 things though. One is Japanese police can hold you for 30 days, no questions asked.
Okay, bye job.
Damn.
Yep, and also they have a 99% conviction rate.
Okay, that basically means probably corruption.
Whoa.
How the hell does the math on that check out?
So,
Whoa, Liam, whoa.
God,
Liam,
that
the
pisses
hell?
me off.
it can go pretty bad. It's like it's laughable now, but like on Saturday,
No, it's not.
everything is running through my head. Like, am I gonna? Well, at the beginning, I'm like, am I gonna lose my job? Like, what is happening right now? And I'm
Everything
thinking,
was
no.
going so well.
Like, it's fine, right? I'm thinking, it's fine. Like, you two could have been witnesses in a trial, and also there are cameras all over my building. There's stuff to prove that I definitely was doing. And I'm like, there's irrefutable proof that it doesn't matter what they would have charged me with. I would have easily gone out of it, right?
And they could
But then
still
you're thinking,
do that.
well, reality isn't really like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what if it goes really badly?
Like even if you're innocent, cops are still a very dangerous thing to be around, kids.
So, that was my weekend. So don't worry.
Well, one other thing that they also shouldn't worry about is panicking to skip the silly commercial this week because we have a real one that you should listen to.
You should listen to because it directly supports your dads. and Sons.
You know, guys, do you remember the Discovery Channel?
Yes.
And I mean Discovery Channel before shows like American Chopping and Deadliest Catch. I mean how it used to be, with all those documentaries about super interesting educational topics like space probes and Stephen Hawking's personally favorite places.
Not really, because I'm British.
Well, now you can too with CuriosityStream, a subscription streaming service that's sponsoring this week's podcast. Thanks, CuriosityStream.
Thanks.
Why, thank you.
So, George, tell me what we have on the Curiosity Stream, man.
With over 2,400 documentaries and nonfiction titles from a lineup of legit production houses, including public broadcasters such as PBS and the BBC. You can watch Richard Feynman scream in a room by himself in the wacky 1981 The Pleasure of Finding Things Out. Or you can learn about how paying taxes and cleaning up the environment actually helps secure long-term sustainable profits for big evil corporations in Conscious Capitalism.
I love capitalism. That's why we're doing a sponsorship.
That's right, Liam. CuriosityStream is like having old Discovery Channel back again, but at the starting cost of just $2.99 a month.
Oh my god.
That's actually pretty cheap.
For dads, sons, mothers, and daughters, the first 31 days are going to be completely free if you sign up at curiositystream.com/CuriousGeorge and use the promo code CuriousGeorge.
No! What?
Never putting you in charge again.
Once again, that URL is curiositystream.com/CuriousGeorge for a free month. After that, it's only $2.99 a month. Thanks again, CuriosityStream.
Arigato.
Curious George? Thanks.
I played Cadence of Hyrule.
Yo.
And how weird is that to go from that? Because Cadence of Hyrule is should we all say like our one-word description of what we think the game is on a 3, 2, 1 countdown?
Great. I just knew I could push his buttons. Yeah, I beat it. I beat it real quick. I was
It is a short
it's
game.
done.
Yeah,
It is a
geez,
short
you
game.
guys like zipped in and out of this thing. It was a good like 3 sittings for me. I want to say like 7 hours ish is what it feels like.
My final time was 4.5 hours, and I did it in one sitting.
Yeah, one
To be
sitting.
fair, I did it co-op.
Oh, I didn't play the co-op mode.
I didn't know it was co-op. I was like, oh snap, that's cool.
Yeah,
You know what I like about this game is that it's so rewarding to play every 30 minutes. Like they constantly give you power-ups. It rewards you for your time. It doesn't waste your time. You know, it's a short experience. It's done, and you feel good about it. It doesn't have to be 9 hours.
and yet it feels big.
It does.
Like this is scope and pacing that is perfect for the amount of mechanics they have to offer, and it makes it feel bigger than the actual clock on your watch is going to read, and that's such a cool feeling.
Yeah, I agree that it feels big in the sense of that the map of the game is big, but I don't think it feels big. Like content full big. I feel like it feels replayable, but I don't think that necessarily equates to big.
You wanted
whole
more.
overworld is randomized. You get a different overworld if you play it again.
And each time you enter a dungeon, it's random.
I was trying to figure out if it was completely random or if they like flip 90 degrees when
No, it's
when you reload
random, but they have rules, of course.
and those rules are pretty darn great. I don't know if actually I'm pretty sure both of you guys played the previous Necrodancer game.
No.
Well, wait,
I did
Matt,
not
we were...
like that rhythm stuff, man.
Oh,
and I
well, did-
still don't. But this game is cool.
So wait,
It's funny
I
because
constantly missed a beat. Constantly.
I felt like by the end it became second nature, and I just got really used to it. Like for anybody who's wondering, straight off the bat, Cadence of Hyrule is like half of the difficulty of Crypto and Necrodancer.
the original game was way harder.
Yeah, it's not even close to being as tough as Crypto and Necrodancer.
Up to and including there not being you retrying after death like in this one.
Yeah. It is definitely a lot easier. It's got that Nintendo touch in multiple ways.
But
One
it-
being the price.
It took me a while to like you guys, I'm so satisfied with like what I got out of it. So okay, thing is, one of the reasons why I'm guessing it might have taken me longer than you guys is that there are a lot of collectibles to get out there, and they're like meaningful. really help you out. Like, I think the long shot was a totally optional thing. It felt like I just wandered onto in the overworld.
You
map.
mean the hook shot?
The long shot?
That's an upgrade. Right?
There is a long shot. Yes,
The golden one, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which is an upgrade for the hook shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, I got everything bar one item.
I didn't get all the bottles.
I didn't get the flippers.
It's because one of them is really hidden. The other ones are pretty open, but there's one. I think it's randomized. I'm pretty sure it's randomized. But like I found mine under a little sliver. Like there's two cliffs, and there's like a little sliver of dirt in between those two cliffs, and you had to dig through them. And then you find it in that little section right there. It was nuts. They really hide those really deep.
So
I'm surprised by how they managed to randomly generate pieces of terrain that actually feels fun and tight and rewarding to explore and uncover. Because, like, just like in Link to the Past when you're 10 years old, like, it felt like every other screen I wanted to stop and investigate, and there was something good to find whenever I did that.
I love it. I love the fact that it has almost the same rule for every screen, which is as soon as you go in there, start dancing, kill everything. Once you've killed everything, you can tell that you've killed everything. Like, it's very clear. You've done this screen now. It gives you the diamond. And then the last thing you do is search for that little extra that is in every screen. Whether it's a chest or a bombable wall or some stairs, you search for the extra, you do that, come out, that screen's done. I love that. I really like that almost checklist approach to every screen in it.
For the first half of the game, the difficulty curve was also in a really nice place. It felt like every single heart and rupee that you dig up is meaningful, and that's something that Zelda's coming back to, and I'm loving it.
That was the thing I wanted to talk about. Was that for me? Like in the beginning, it was still quite tough. Like to get into it, like the rhythm and stuff, it becomes difficult. You know, you die a couple of times. You're trying to get the enemy patterns down and stuff like that. And, like, it carried a nice curve for a while, and everything meant a lot. Like, every time you got a container piece, and you could buy them after you died and stuff like that with the diamonds, felt like a nice curve. And there was just a moment where I got a mace and, like, an upgrade. I got a mace that allowed me to, like, swing around corners.
The L-shape
The L-shaped
box.
mace, right?
Yeah.
But I got it infused with obsidian. And also, I got a ring that allowed me to do a dash after a kill. So I would just...
And did you just feel like the top of the world?
I just would keep pressing down, and I would move, kill something, move, like dash, kill something, dash, kill something. And I was just like a fucking non-stop killing dancing machine. And from that point, which was like maybe 2 temples in, the rest of the game was so easy.
Difficulty curve was upside down for me too, but I still had to at least pay attention.
I think you could get cocky, and then you would die, and you would lose all your rupees. There was a point where I had like 3,000 rupees.
Oh yeah. The rupee difficulty curve is super upside down.
And you get rupees. You lose all your rupees when you die. So I'm like...
But it doesn't matter.
Well, if I've got 3,000 of them, I've not died for a long time.
You only need them for health potions, which basically break the game.
You barely need... Sometimes you go into a shop and you haven't got a shovel because you might have died, and you're like, well, gotta buy a shovel.
The hover boots are something I did a lot of trips back and forth for too.
How did you guys feel about it as a Zelda game?
Oh my god, I was having the time. So I was expecting it to be a Crypt of the Necrodancer game, but the process of discovering that it was like structured and laid out and had a content pacing that followed the structure more so of a Zelda game was fun. Like that process of exceeding your expectations nowadays that we're always on social media all the time and have things spoiled for us, that doesn't happen very often. And it was absolutely delightful to pick this thing up and experience something that was far, far beyond what I thought I was going to be getting for $25.
Yeah, it did seem really nice for it because it just sort of got announced then they didn't tell anybody anything about it. You just had to kind of imagine the two in your mind, like,
which is still a good thing to imagine.
And the Minish Cap and like Between Two Worlds and A Link to the Past crossed with Crypt of the Necrodancer. How the fuck is that gonna work? And then like boom, it comes out and everybody, gets opportunity to play it at the same time. And you're like, oh wow, everybody's experiencing it together. It's pretty amazing.
It reminds me of the first week of Undertale, when people didn't know what they were going to get. And that's happening less and less these days.
I think with all these, sort of surprise and like a lot of game companies now are like, and it comes out today. Like there's a lot of that, like, in the industry right now. And I feel like that keeps alive the sort of spirit of everybody discovering things at the same time. And Cadence of Hyrule is definitely like the most recent example of that.
I guess for me, because I'm a little bit different from you guys, I did not want to do any of the dancing. I just wanted to play a regular game. Did
you turn it to fixed beat mode, or did you just play it?
Tried it, and there was no point to it.
Is it
just you still have to keep some kind of rhythm, don't you?
Yeah,
it just doesn't have to be the rhythm.
No, isn't it just that it doesn't change the tempo at all? It just has like whatever the normal tempo is, and it stays throughout that. Throughout the different game, through the different areas, the tempo changes, and that's what it goes slower, it goes faster. I think on fixed beat mode, you obviously still have to dance. It's just that the tempo never changes, so it's always that solid, consistent timing.
Yeah, for me, it's there's no point. I might as well play it the regular way. And in the beginning, it was tough. I died a few times, and once I got the broadsword, that was it. I kind of won the game, and that was satisfying to play. It was really satisfying to play after the broadsword. And I don't know, like it got impossible to kind of die, especially with the health potions as well. But I never I would say half the time I got like multiple diamonds at the end of the screen. Not all the time. And still I had a crap ton of diamonds, like over 100 diamonds. So I would say for people who out there who think that the rhythm thing is not their thing and they may not be able to enjoy it, it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good, very rewarding, and it's definitely not like a super hard game.
No, it's a challenging game.
If you sleep on it, if you don't recognize that you're getting hit, then yeah, you're gonna die. Yeah,
I think it's just a challenging game. It's a game that expects stuff out of you. Like the dancing is something where you always have to be on it, like always on it, and that can be a bit exhausting to begin with. You're like, always pressing the button, always pressing the button. And then you have to do it
across like long screens that you don't want to clear. That you already cleared before, and you have to press it. Well, you can warp, and you can't do it
at some point, which is pretty good. Like it allows you to just warp to certain places, which gets really handy. But yeah, it can be annoying when you're in like a dungeon that has a really slow tempo, like the Gerudo Valley one, where it's like just ridiculously slow, and it's like dun 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 dun, and you're like, come on, move faster, and then you're just like hammering it. It's like miss beat, and you're like,
yeah, I don't.
It can be frustrating.
That was a very small percentage of the experience for me. I actually really liked how if you clear out every enemy, it turns the whole tempo thing off, so you can just press and hold a button
so you can move
dash in that
direction.
direction. Yeah. And that gives you a real great incentive to actually want to kill all the monsters and engage with the game's combat.
That's the best part of the game. Clearing the screens is the best part of the game. That's what I like.
It's really fun.
That's what I like about it. I relish going into a new area and all of the enemies respawning and being like, fuck yeah, I gotta kill all you guys again.
Yeah, there are just like two aspects to this that I really want to hammer home, and like one is that game feel, like how fun it feels to hammer out the combat in this thing. Because I'm really interested to know how differently it feels like going through Matt's head, right? because the rhythm of the experience is so important for me enjoying this game. Because if I really get into the zone, like, there is this electrifying energy that pulses through my fingers, where my brain is thinking to the music, my fingers are tapping to the music, the game is playing out to the music, and I'm having to make strategic, tactical decisions of, like, camping myself around a corner and setting up traps to the music. That's such a different way of thinking about video game moves that I love it. I love the refreshing feel that was going through my brain.
Yeah, when you went to that flow state and, like, you see, like, the electric animations over the Triforce for the beat
and it
bar,
all just snaps and you actually are dancing.
Yeah, and you're just killing everybody and you're just doing it in such a fluid motion. It's so good. That is when that game is best. But I'm amazed to find that Matt just liked it, even with that being an issue for him. That tells you kind of how strong that the game is on its own anyway.
And it's also just like a really well-designed Zelda clone, as it should be, as it is advertised and named. It picks up the theme of Zelda and ends up creating an overworld exploration game with the sense of danger and item management and, like, cute charm. Like, I feel like with Zelda games, I know what I'm gonna find in the bottom of caves these days. Maybe there'll be Dampy digging graves. Maybe there'll be a Kakariko windmill guy spinning a music box. But here, with the theming here, you have fun music puns that make some really surprising little bits of humor out there to discover. Like, the bosses were hilarious. Remember the oboe? There's a giant oboe man.
Where's oboe?
And the way they have the difficulty tuned, connected to the mechanics, means that there's a sense of danger and stakes, and that's great too. You know how in, like, Dark Souls, when you gotta walk slow with your lantern out, and in Link Between Worlds, you walk slow with your shield out when you go into a cave. It's so great having caves feel dangerous again.
It's a good game. Like, if you can't tell, it's a good game. And massive congratulations to Ryan and the team at Brace Yourself Games. Obviously, Crypt of the Necrodancer was a hit anyway, but they seem to have nailed it out of they've nailed it out of the park with Cadence of Hyrule, and I hope it does open the door for more opportunities of Nintendo working with indies to create some special stuff like this.
Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice having this be the first one out, too. Like, what a way to set a great precedent for this whole endeavor.
And I think it shows some incredibly good, like, people are just going to be, like, barking on at me about Nintendo, but Nintendo are the ones that decided on this project. Like, it shows incredible initiative from Nintendo, especially the Japanese side, which is, I know, is the team they worked with, is that they were like, Crypt of the Necrodancer, that's a great game. You know, maybe we could do something with that. And then being like, reaching out to, like, Brace Yourself Games and being like, let's do this. It's so strange, yet such great initiative to think that would work.
It really does make sense to me. It's super easy to imagine the Japanese audience loving this thing, like, where rhythm games have more of a foothold and where gameplay gimmicks and mechanics are a little more important. This fits right up everyone's alley. It's one of the greatest crossover ideas that I think they could have come up with, like, outside of Shovel Knight being a Zelda 2 clone. I don't know what other better ideas there are out there that they really could be mining here.
Shovel Knight is way better than Zelda 2. Don't you even...
But they could do a spin-off. I don't know. Maybe they're keeping it under wraps for a really long project that might take, like, half a decade to put together. Because didn't Crypt of the Necrodancer come out in, like, 2016-ish? Maybe even slightly earlier?
No, it was earlier than that. It's been around for a while now. I think it was 2014, maybe.
Jesus Christ. So they've been working on Cadence of Hyrule for years and haven't said...
No, they haven't. I don't think
really?
They have. Actually, I know how long they worked on Cadence of Hyrule, but I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say, so I'm not gonna say.
That colors it as more surprising. Like I'm hoping that more companies do this Sonic Mania approach where they hire from the fan communities, because they also commissioned from the fan communities to fan musicians like Family Jewels.
Yeah,
and
a lot of the Cadence of Hyrule team are actually the Sonic Mania team.
Oh, yeah, I think there's some crossover with the pixel artists.
Yeah, like the artists, and I think some of the musicians as well.
Paul Vlier from Vlambeer.
No, yeah, I think he worked on Sonic Mania as well. It was great. It was literally like a coming together of some very talented people who are obviously major fans of these franchises, just like we were when we were young, and have the ability to now do these games justice.
And in a weird way, I think this is kind of indicative of like who should be making these franchises anyway. Because this is
it's
a weird
different.
one,
It's different. I don't think like I think it's two different questions, right? Like, could Brace Yourself Games make a really good Zelda? No. Could they make a really good Crypt of the Necrodancer sequel with Zelda artwork, with Zelda-inspired themes? Yes. Yes, they could.
But I feel like giving the franchise over to younger developers who grew up playing it, rather than developers who were making it back in the 80s and might have passed on to other interests in life. Like, those who grew up with it, it kind of has a more permanent place in their heart. Like, it's something that was there since before they were born.
Sure.
It feels more permanent.
For sure. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. But I feel like talking about Sonic Mania compared to like Mario and Zelda is a bit different because
it is.
Sonic sucks. And Sonic Mania was
Sonic
great.
Mania doesn't.
Yeah.
And Sonic
but Mario
sucks.
and Zelda haven't really dipped in quality. So
Okay. The main thing I want to bring out is that, like, mainline Sonic games made by Japanese core teams tend to have the camera in a place where my eyes have never been when I'm playing a Sonic game, and that is towards the second third of the screen. And Sonic Mania,
I don't know. I agree with you.
like you're playing the same kind of Sonic game, but in a different level design that has you anticipating things that come up with enough of a reaction window to dodge them. And
Yeah.
it feels like it was made by someone whose face was at that part of the screen, rather than the developer who was panning the camera around for engine optimization and technology reasons.
I 100% agree with you, but that's my point, is that Sonic, the disparaging difference between Sonic and Sonic Mania is massive, because Sonic is bad and Sonic Mania was a good game, whereas Crypt of the Necrodancer isn't. Cadence of Hyrule is a Crypt of the Necrodancer game with Zelda inspirations, right? It's not actually a Zelda game. It's not The Legend of Zelda Cadence of Hyrule, is it? It's Cadence of Hyrule, a game spin-off based on Zelda. I don't think if you asked Brace Yourself Games to make a Zelda game like Sonic Mania team were asked to make a Sonic game, that it would turn out the same. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I just think that, like, having it circulate between different people of different generations is going to keep fresh ideas going that have some insight that the original developers aren't going to have.
Well, it's funny you say that, because Nintendo have a lot of young employees. It's just the way the Japanese companies work is you don't hear about those guys until they're older.
Yeah, Splatoon was what, the first original IP they had rolled out in a very long time, something like 8 years.
Yeah, and then you think about all the stuff they've done since then, like ARMS and Splatoon and like Xenoblade being on like a first party studio from Monolith and stuff like that. They're trying. They've done some cool stuff.
And now Cadence of Hyrule.
Is out there. It's a good time to own a Switch. Real good time. George.
Boom, boom.
We have some news about that thing that guy made once that came from the moon.
Yeah, the magical stork game that spontaneously existed and wasn't made by
A weird
trolls
Swedish
on
man.
Twitter. Minecraft Story Mode is a game that was made by Telltale Games and not a weird Swedish man. And Telltale Games has closed down. I'm sure you heard a lot about it. It was a big ordeal. No one really knows who has the rights for Minecraft Story Mode at the moment. It could be Microsoft. It could be Mojang. It might be whoever is keeping the lights on at Telltale, because, I mean, their website is still online. And whoever that is, or whoever at least controls their Facebook account, made a post in questionable English saying that for players of Minecraft Story Mode on Xbox 360 only, those games will no longer be supported via the necessary game servers. The language did not clarify whether that meant like online customer support or updates or just being able to download it at all. All of Minecraft Story Mode content was removed from sale on each digital storefront ahead of that happening. In the process of removing these items for sale on the Xbox 360 platform only, existing Minecraft Story Mode players became unable to download their remaining episodes. That's their grammar in their post on the official Minecraft Story Mode Facebook account right now these days. Quote, so to existing customers... Wait a second. Quote, so to assist existing customers... Yeah, my bad on that one. All the downloadable episodes for the 2 Minecraft Story Mode titles are temporarily relisted, but to deter new purchases, they will be relisted at a very high price! Exclamation point. The price shown is a real list price. Please do not buy the content. If you do, you will be charged the amount shown. Quote.
You've got to be kidding me. Come on.
So the implication, what I can gather here, what it looks like what's happening is that whoever's in charge of Minecraft Story Mode right now was unable to fandangle the Xbox 360 marketplace into having a grace period for customers who had previously bought these games and need to re-download them before they're taken offline, but they can't do that. They can't have them on the servers privately. It has to be publicly listed, available for sale. And so the sale price right now is $100. And like, this is real. This is a real thing. You will be charged $100 for buying an episode of Minecraft Story Mode, but no one has gone out and said where that money is actually getting funneled to at the moment. It's getting funneled to someone who doesn't want to deal with it. Because this is the first time in recent memory where the game company doesn't want you to buy the products that they're putting here for sale out on the shelves.
It's weird because you say that, but $100.
Yeah, that's like weirdly doable.
Isn't that, yeah, that is a weirdly doable price. They're like, haha, yeah, we totally, wink, wink, raise the price to a maximum. You shouldn't, wink, wink, buy it. But they didn't set it to like $10,000.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you say it's an absurd amount?
I guess it's a very delicate balancing act. Like, how much of a dick do you want to look like to the potential customers? It's a rock and a hard place, I guess. It's fucking bizarre and hilarious, and it just like, oh man, the future we're headed to is goddamn silly.
Wow. Oh boy.
So until people figure out who's allowed to sell Minecraft Story Mode after the end of the month, at least on Xbox 360 and not the other platforms. I wonder if like
the other platforms.
Not is there an Xbox One version? I really want to know what this looks like behind the scenes. Like if there's just a web page they press a button on and that button's just not there for the Xbox 360 version of the whatever system they use to manage storefront prices and listings. Anyways, another news story that we have this week is in regards to Cyberpunk 27. Some more E3 details coming out.
27 Cyberpunk 27.
The 27th game in the Cyberpunk
We've literally
series.
got 8 years until that reality comes true.
Skill Up YT, a channel who had access to the CDPR team for interviews at E3, has apparently now been allowed to tell us that Keanu is not some random cameo. He's your sidekick for the entire game, and he lives inside of your character's head.
How could the sidekick be better than you?
By being Keanu Reeves.
Like, he's way better than your character.
Keanu is going to be playing Johnny.
It is a little disappointing that you can't just play as Keanu. But then it's first person, you wouldn't get to see Keanu's face.
But yeah, I feel like having Keanu just like whisper things in my ear as like neo 80s techno music plays in the background might be more immersive than like trying to look cool while not being able to because your frame is too thin.
So I saw a video. I was watching a video of somebody at E3, and there was like posters with a guitar and a hand, and it said "Silver Hand." And so I'm guessing Keanu's character is like a rock star or something.
Yep. Keanu plays Johnny Silverhand, a freedom fighter rock star type who has a band that you can hear the character listening to in some of the trailers.
Does Keanu sing?
Oh my god, actually yes, I think Keanu might be singing. You know, don't want to confirm, don't want to say, but I did read in when doing research and bullet points for this news story that you can hear music by Johnny Silverhand, and if Johnny Silverhand's played by Keanu, then maybe? I don't know. I feel like that's such a podcast the speculation seems solid, but I cannot confirm.
We need to get Keanu on the show to confirm.
Yeah.
He's into video games now.
I'll send him an email.
So
that'd be the first email you've ever sent, buddy.
Other interesting thing going on is that Johnny Silverhand dies in some of the earlier cyberpunk materials that take place before this one does. So he's going to be some kind of ghost. He's going to be some kind of cyber ghost inside your head.
Oh.
So you're going to take like his memory chip out or some shit.
Yeah,
some sort of rad cyberpunk shit.
He uploaded his personality into a little mini cassette.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because he's also existing inside of the ones and zeros on the cybernet.
Do you know what would be amazing? I would love it if CD Projekt Red had the balls to be like, you know the scene from the E3 trailer where like it pans up and it's Keanu and he takes his sunglasses off and he's like, we got a city to burn. If that like the next 5 seconds of that trailer was him getting shot in the head immediately and dying in front of you.
And just like re-uploading himself as a cyber ghost.
Oh shit, it's Keanu, and then just somebody comes along and pumps a bullet in his head, and you're like, what the fuck? That'd be great.
The first thing that his cyber ghost says when he gets uploaded into your brain after the murder is just, whoa.
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 You guys want to do some more fun speculation about a thing that's not out? That
No.
We can't confirm or deny the fishy details that are coming out from interview snippets.
Not all the Pokemon are in the Pokemon game that's coming out with the Pokemon. And that's another thing that can be talked about that doesn't matter, really, until it comes out and we see the list. That
is set to drop a lot sooner than the untitled, undated Breath of the Wild sequel. Which, however, is supposed to be having the same Hyrule map as the last game. They're also going to be using the same director. Game Informer had some interview quotes from AGA Enuma on it, saying that we wanted to create a continuation because I wanted to revisit that Hyrule again and use that world again while incorporating new gameplay and new story.
Why would you not? Like, why would you not? You spent 7 years making it. It's an incredible map.
It's called laziness, Liam.
There's a lot of emptiness in that map.
You can't talk that shit to me. I actually make games. It's bullshit.
There's a lot of unused space. A lot of suspiciously large trees. A lot of holding up.
Come over there and kill you, Matt. It'll be a real
laziness.
So one of the things I was hoping for is that they would actually go for a smaller map with the sequel and build it taller, not wider. Because that's what I wanted to see more in Breath of the Wild, were tighter, crowded villages and towns with side quests. And when I first heard this news, I was like, well... But the more I thought about it, it could work. There's a lot of ruins. Don't know if you guys have played it recently, but if you look out for them, there are ruins everywhere.
Well, you've got to think as well, right? Breath of the Wild wasn't made for the Switch. It was made for the Wii U. In the almost 3 years with which the Nintendo Switch has been out, think about how well they will have been learning to optimize that thing. Think about Mario Odyssey, think about Mario Kart 8, which also was a Wii U game, but how fantastic those games looked. And think about everything they could do that they were hampered by making a Wii U port of the game that was exactly the same as the Switch version, and now they're not tethered to that.
And they also have a backlog of a lot of stories that they're sitting on.
I mean, nobody plays Zelda for a story, so...
What? No, I loved when I was a kid.
What?
The Ocarina, everyone was so cute and charming. I loved those characters. I wanted to see them have a good day.
And you do. Just very bare bones, as always. Cadence of Hyrule has more story than most Zelda games.
In modernity, like, the recent Zelda games have been thematically weak, but in, like, the turn of the millennium, when the N64 era, Ocarina and Majora have really fleshed out subtext and implications.
Yeah,
and
Majora,
twists.
maybe. Not Ocarina of Time. Majora does.
Well,
Ocarina has
want-
a little bit of story.
I want to play a Breath of the Wild with good side quests. I wanna find stuff at the end of caves that feel dangerous. That's not a Korok seed or a collectible. I wanna feel some human connection with the characters of this world they're living in, and that it's a format and an engine for a game that can suit that very, very well. I don't see why not. There's
just
that
have
great.
like the ninja hideout dudes and the fun boss fight at the end of that. Like, have more of stuff like that.
There was some good interplay going on with the Yiga clan in Kakariko Village, but the other towns in Breath of the Wild were suspiciously absent of a degree of side quest storytelling you usually get from Zelda games. And I'm hoping that they go in that direction with this one. I'm hoping that they fill those ruins up, rebuild those ruins, repopulate Hyrule, make Hyrule great again, and fill it with side quests.
I want Link to die, and we just play as Zelda to save the world.
Okay.
I want some
Side
deep
note.
stuff. I want some Uncharted, some Last of Us deep beginnings, some Ori in the Blind Forest type stuff. Link dies, blah, blah, and Zelda
already
takes
was
up the
technically
Master
dead.
Sword.
Side note, going back to Cadence, I fucking love how, like, the first Western, like, kind of fan creator made spin-off Zelda is one that has you playing as Cadence and Zelda probably more often than Link, and how it like straight up has you jumping into the shoes of these, like, way more feminine heroes. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Well, it's going to be like 3 years until the game comes out, if we're
3
lucky.
years-ish, something
might as
like
well
that.
not speculate.
Well, this also explains why there's not as much DLC coming out for Breath of the Wild as people thought, because they're saving it for the sequel.
But Nintendo don't release a lot of DLC anyway. Splatoon 2 is massively popular, yet they haven't they're not pumping out shit for that every week. Like, Nintendo have a plan, and they execute on the plan, and then that's it.
If
Doesn't
they were
really matter.
sitting on a backstory of, like, extra campaigns and side quests that they were going to release as DLC, but are saving for the sequel, I could still cross my fingers and hope for the best.
For a flying plane next time.
We got
No
a motorcycle.
motorbikes. Planes.
A Sheikah plane.
A Sheikah plane. Your slate tablet just evolves into a plane, or your horse just transforms into a plane.
Yeah, I'm down with that. It'll just be like Final Fantasy 15 when your car can fly, right?
For some reason, my brain instantly imagined Epona's face, like, morphing into a wince of pain as these disgusting, gory Resident Evil wings, like, spurted out of its side and it painfully writhed into the air.
You've seen the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. That is Epona transforming into a plane. That grotesque zombie thing at the end.
Like a Resident Evil kind of transformation scene is what I'm...
Well, guys, as we promised, not but an hour ago, we're gonna return to the Twitter sphere to end this week's show instead of the long form questions. We will return to that next week. So if you want more fleshed out questions, more fleshed out answers, send emails to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com. In the meantime, we're going to delve back into the hundreds, the plus of questions sent for the tweet this week. Let's start with, why is YouTube George an incredible journalist, while Podcast George is a screeching sociopath?
Because I got time to write a script and fact check it.
Yep.
Matt, do you have any insight into this?
Yeah, that's basically it. That's the reason why you'll see a lot of artists music artists, their work is different from when you're having a conversation with them or you see them in an interview.
Mad.
Yeah,
That's the profession. It's the job. This is so much more casual and unprofessional.
There is a lot of game devs like that.
yeah. Sometimes you just want to poop on the mic and relax and chill. You know, you don't have to be this like I'm a journalist and this is who I am.
We certainly poop on the mic a lot.
Squeeze it into the fuzz.
Poop. On the
Definitely
mic.
poop on the mic. I definitely poop on the mic.
Oh, that question, by the way, was from Andre R. Joe. Sorry, I didn't mention. Let's go to the next one, which is from Spaced Andy.
Yeah.
What was the game that really got you into gaming way back when?
First game I got seriously hooked on was Mario 3.
Mine was Ocarina of Time. When I really got hooked on video games.
And you'd think people don't play it for the story. They're such great characters for like kids.
I don't deny that. What about you, Matt?
The first game I played was when my mom bought a Nintendo for my birthday, and I played Ninja Turtles with like a neighbor.
The Konami one.
Oh no, was it the bad one?
It
one
was
with the water
It was a
zappy level?
side-scrolling. Like the thing is, the way I remember it, I looked this up, and supposedly the Nintendo one was that ugly-looking one, and not the arcade-looking one. And I remember the arcade one.
I mean, that might have been. Yeah, but that might just be nostalgia.
Yeah, it might just be nostalgia. But the first game where I'm like, this is it. I really love video games is probably Super Mario World.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. Mario, Zelda,
Fucking
those like
love
good
you,
cuddly Nintendo franchises.
Yeah, because I like games beforehand, and I always got the consoles. But when I got the Super Nintendo, and I played Super Mario World, man, some Street Fighter as well, all those games. Oh my god, that was it, man. That was it.
So, quickly moving on from that wonderful question to Bramcracker 3 asking, "What's your favorite wolf?"
What?
What's your favorite wolf? It's a pretty clear question, guys.
The wolf in the wolf job gif they use in Game Grumps.
This is a furry question for George.
Oh, how did you know?
It's definitely a furry question for George.
It is definitely a furry question for George.
I'm not a furry.
You are a furry. You like wolves.
Hey, I'll pick a dog.
Yeah, I was going to say Amaterasu from Okami, but technically not really a wolf. Moving on from Cadence of Hyrule, Splat, Splat asks, what indie game and established IP crossover a la Cadence of Hyrule would you want to see most?
I think I just now mentioned it. Shovel Knight, Yacht Club Games doing a Zelda 2 clone.
Nice. Into the Breach creators doing a crossover Smash turn-based game.
So like turn-based
Smash.
character battling.
Turn-based Smash.
I could. That's easy to picture. Everyone's moves has
Smash, but like Into the Breach style, not Fire Emblem or Advance Wars. Into the Breach style, being able to see what side smash or tilt your opponent's going to do next, and then
baiting them into friendly fire,
and then wave dashing away from them.
Yeah, because a lot of the Smash metagame is about the mind games of luring them into the one pixel on the screen you want them into, and that's kind of sort of what you do in Into the Breach, is lure enemies into positional traps.
I know all about luring you into certain places.
Wow.
Hey, me and George smashed half naked.
That time we didn't get arrested by the cops, though.
Yeah, that's true. You got away with it. Matt, how about you? What would you like to combine together?
I want another Super Mario RPG, dude. I wouldn't
Kingdom
mind
Hearts,
seeing like,
but take all the Disney out and put Super Mario in.
Let's not do that. Let's not do any more Kingdom Hearts games. Let's just stop it where it was.
Let's not dig up Grandma's coffin.
Yeah. I would love to see the Star Wars franchise get messed with and do something fresh, like maybe like a turn-based RPG would probably be interesting. Or a tactical game like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah,
Can you imagine
tactics-based
that?
Star Wars game. Even though Final Fantasy Tactics is an indie game, but that would be sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, KOTOR kind of has a system that shows there's something there. They could work that.
So, Wilfred Summers asks, can you convince my friend that Frozen isn't that bad of a movie?
It's not. The songs are good. The songs are good.
How can 40 million little girls be wrong?
No, see,
Wait.
that's their Lion King. We had Lion King. They have Frozen.
What's the friend's name? Was it Chad? Chad, do you not have a heart?
Is he Elsa?
I mean, the song being stuck in your head, that means it works. That means it's doing what it needs to do. It's being stuck in your head. You're thinking about Frozen. Your kids are thinking about Frozen. They're buying toys. That's what it's meant to do.
Does Chet hate children?
Maybe. Riley asks,
It's the reason why I'm going to go see Lion King. Because they did that to me.
I'm going to see it because it looks like a train wreck.
I feel, well, I mean, even though all the lions look the same.
It's got Childish Gambino in it, so...
Yeah, but all the lions look the same, though.
Yeah.
I am going to watch it. I'm going to watch it just because.
I'm going to watch it as
I
well.
love Lion King.
Well, also it's Lion King, yeah.
Yeah, it's Lion King. Yeah.
Returning to Riley at Jason Fails, confusing. What's your favorite obscure game that likely no one has heard of?
Too Human. I'm just joking. I got to bring up Too Human every chance I get, you know?
Wait, isn't Too Human free right now for people to download? Didn't they announce that at E3?
Seriously?
Too Human?
Yeah.
You mean Destiny 2?
No, Too Human.
Too Human?
What platform?
PC.
What?
Where? Steam? Where?
The game's from like 11 years ago.
I know. Hang on, I'm double checking. Too Human.
You're lying.
Free.
I would download that right now. I don't see it.
Yes, Forbes, the bizarre story behind Too Human, a game Microsoft is giving away for free for 1 week.
That's so fucking weird.
There you go.
Hold on. Who's giving it away?
Microsoft, you can download it free on your Xbox One.
Oh, okay. That's Xbox. Not like.
But you can still download it for free. I mean...
This is a game that had, like, the court case behind it. The boxes of copies were destroyed.
Yeah, so the reason supposedly Microsoft can't sell it is because of that copyright. So to have backwards compatibility of it, they have to give it away for free. Strange.
Why?
No idea. But George, what's your most obscure game?
Police 911. I talked about it a few weeks ago. The Dave and Buster's light gun shooter where you have to lean like you're Keanu Reeves out of the way of bullets.
Probably not that obscure, but I really, really like Snowboard Kids. Nobody else likes Snowboard Kids on the N64. I love Snowboard Kids.
I am gonna go with the dishwasher. No.
Oh, was it like Death Smile? What was it called? Smile?
Yeah, Vampire
something?
Smile.
Yeah. On the Xbox 360.
Yeah,
the
it
Salt
was
and
like
Sanctuary developers.
back in the
guy
days
that-
where Xbox
Yeah.
360 had this like indie section, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff on there.
What were they called? Xbox
Ska Studios?
Live Arcade or something? Xbox
Yeah.
Arcade?
Yeah, Xbox,
Xbox
Arcade, yeah.
Live Arcade.
And they used
Sure.
to have the Summer of Indies. And that was like, every summer you'd have like all the new big indie games come out for like a couple of weeks. Like
Yes.
Super Meat Boy and Braid and stuff like that.
It was good. It was real good. And I really liked Dishwasher back in the day. When I first played, I was like, oh man, this is a nice... And I like 2D games. I really do. I love them. So this was like kind of one of the first ones that I played in a while. Yeah, and it was nice. It was bloody, just like how I like, Dishwasher.
I didn't like the art style. I don't like the art style of Salt and Sanctuary either.
Yeah, it's...
It's rough.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. It's still rough, but yeah.
Talking about rough, can you answer Vinegar's Fried's question, which is, why hasn't my father come home?
Some questions are better left unanswered.
I feel like that would not be good for him.
Do you truly want to discover the truth? Do you honestly believe it would make you happier?
Maybe he got amnesia and he forgot where he lived.
Yes, he's
Maybe.
going on a world-spanning amnesia adventure to find his memory and his children. Let's leave it at that.
Maybe it's because he didn't quick save. Like Azzy86 asks, quick saves versus checkpoints. Which, when, and why?
Oh, hell yeah. Quick saves, almost all the way. Reason I say almost is that there's some games in some genres, but quick saving, I love it, because it lets the player experiment very quickly and easily with how many options the game is going to be given them there. But if it's a game where you're supposed to commit to your decisions, then checkpoints.
Intriguing, because I would say the opposite, where I always forget to do quick saves, or forget that a game has quick saves. So checkpoints always remind me of exactly where I was, and I know exactly how much progress I've made and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
God.
I would say checkpoints.
When I was playing Ori in the Blind Forest, you have to save manually.
Yeah, I'm playing
And-
Bloodstained right now, and you have to manually save as well, and it's fucking me over.
Yo, and then you die and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I have to pay the last 20 minutes?
Yep, that happened to me today.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of replaying the last 20 minutes, but I
No.
love it when a good checkpoint system
Yeah.
is set up so that if you do die, it just takes like 2 minutes to figure out what you did wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I want both.
Like it's not a rule. There's exceptions on both sides, but I generally have more fun when I'm playing with the quick save system than with the checkpoint system. I generally have more
Quick saves are like, as Matt likes to phrase it, lazy way of developers integrating saving into a game. Whereas checkpoints is something that has to be designed to work well.
I think
Checkpoints has to fit into the game.
a way to describe it is it might depend on how much of a sandbox the game's supposed to be versus a tunnel.
I don't know about that. Because you can have sandboxes that have specific areas where the player knows they're always safe, or it's going to save, or you're in an area that is a checkpoint. Like, I don't know. Intriguing. Krush Tonight HD asks the mother of all questions: sitting or standing? What do you do when you pee?
I do both, but I think sitting is better. Like, if I'm in my own place, I will sit.
Really? Why?
Because especially, well, you have to have a high toilet. You don't want the water too full in the bowl, then it'll just splash on you. But because then that'll be weird. But the thing is, when you're sitting down, you're peeing.
Unless you have a bidet.
Yeah, unless you have a bidet.
An NVIDIA Ass Blaster 9000 GTX.
Especially if you're living with roommates, you don't want to mess up the toilet. If you're standing up and the water's coming from a certain angle and splashing into the toilet, some of it is going to get, out of the toilet. It's easier. It keeps the toilet clean to sit down.
I just remember that ever since my roommate moved out, I have not had to pay attention to this stuff like I used to.
That means you're the one making the mess.
Yeah.
And I don't even know it.
Yeah, like I
In Japan,
wipe
everything's
constantly.
taken care of for me.
I make sure everything's clean. I don't want somebody else coming in and be like, "Yo, what's this? What's going on here, man? What's these yellow stains or
I'm
the doo-doo
definitely-
smear?" Or, you don't want any of that,
Ew.
man. But you got to be careful what toilet you sit in. That's why I only do it in my toilet, because I know the water level. Because if you sit down and your
balls
tip
dip in the
touches the water, that's a no go. You don't want
That's
the
like-
tip to touch the water, guys.
That's
be
like-
careful.
I'm gonna die now. That's like, I'm gonna die now. Like that cold touch right on the tip, and you're like, oh.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna die now. Any disease that was in there, it's in me now. It's in me, and my dick is gonna fall off. A man, you gotta have your stuff. You gotta have your
dick.
sausage. You gotta have it.
How are you going to pee without your dick?
The 1% of our audience that does not have one, right? Any guys?
The
I'm sorry.
1%.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It might be more like 13%. I don't know how much better that actually makes it.
No.
I would say please send in your thoughts, 13%, but that's really not good. So let's move into the last question. let's end it on a nice one. Yellow cake at Uranian. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm alright.
Hi. And there you have it.
What about you, Liam?
I'm smelling the fucking roses. Everything is simpler to me. Once you've been accused of murder and you've been relinquished of it.
You mean you got away with it?